All right, it's been a while. Welcome back to another video. I'm Pierce or Mercy, Pierce's Mercy, whatever. But it's been, a long time. This car, the last video I posted on the FRS, this car was probably black with the V3 kit. I don't even think it was done with the wrap. So obviously a lot's happened. This car looks nothing like it used to. Almost the only thing that's the same is the interior now at this point. And I have an E46. So kind of going to give you guys a walk down of what's going through my head with these cars, where I'm at, what's going on, what's being done to the cars, because I have a lot of parts laying around. Once I flip the camera around, you'll see how much of a mess this garage is, and then where this car is at, what I need to do to that car. So I'll start with the FRS. So as you can tell, the body kit's not the same. It's an Origin Lab kit now. Got all the pieces laying right here. It's pretty sick. It's the Driftline kit. So we have like these GT3 style fenders, the bell bottom, kit on all the bumpers, side skirts, and the over fenders are 55 mil. So it's a lot less wide than my V3 kit because I really wanted to drift this car. So the reason I changed kits was I've been waiting for that kit to come out for like 2 years now. So when it finally came out, I jumped right on it. I drove straight to Zilla Garage, Shop Zilla Garage is where I bought the kit from. I was so stoked to just drive and pick it up. As soon as they landed, I waited, I saw the first post and I was like, give me this kit, like right now. I've been waiting. So it's a lot less wide, makes it easier to find wheels, makes it easier to drift on, and it makes it a lot easier on the suspension components because I'm not running like a 50 mil spacer. Because with the V3 kit, I did the math on running like a 9.5 or a 10 in the rear, and it was like, I think I needed 80 mil of spacers. So yeah, got a nice new kit, wrapping right now. Got the FDF arms, the angle kit that I'm throwing on. So I had PBM knuckles, I did 2 events with those, but I bought this kit off my friend Tommy, and I'm excited to just throw this car backwards at the entry. So should be going to Grange once this car is done, but I have no idea about events. So we'll figure that out later. Got the Jackson Racing Supercharger, which is carb legal because I got state ref 2 or 3 years ago. I don't really want to do that again. I mean, this car is a track car, but it actually passes smog right now, which is pretty sick. So got the 86 headlights, which the Valentis are on the ground there. Once I fix those and the wiring, because the headlights don't work on this car for basically no reason, gotta fix that. Fix these, get the OEM ones wired up, and then once I have that all settled, it should be easy to throw the Valentis on because they're right-hand drive. I need to convert to left-hand drive and all this other stuff. So need to do another custom harness for those headlights. I'll probably have my friend Castillo help me out with that. He's very good with wiring, especially with these cars. We got, let's see, the wrap. This color, I'm not even sure what it is anymore. I picked it out a while ago. I think Storm Gray would be the closest color I could compare it to this wrap. But I really love this color. It's like a dark blue with kind of a purple tint to it. You might be able to see it like on the door a little right there, but looks pretty nuts. I'm excited for the whole car to be this color. Should be done with the wrap definitely this week. And the arms, waiting on some bolts for the FDF kit. I think I'm missing the 2 bolts that connect the caster arm to the chassis right up here, basically. I think you can see where I'm pointing. Right, yeah, right there, behind the tow hitch. Waiting for that. Obviously, headlights, wrap, just a bunch of other little stuff. I need to do my alignment, obviously, after I get the angle kit on. Got fluid change, so I got diff and trans fluid. Already did an oil change. I'm doing track prep even though I don't have an event. I'd just rather have the car ready, for the next event that pops up. I don't have to spend a whole night in the garage working on this car. Got a Sabin hood now. My OEM hood actually flipped on me, which was a crazy experience. I was getting on the freeway, and as soon as I shifted from 3rd to 4th, it was right as I shifted, I don't know, it disrupted the weight of the car or something, and then the hood just flipped on me, which was crazy as hell. And hopefully that never happens again. So I have hood latches I need to install, but yeah, the hood looks pretty sick, especially with the kit. I think with those GT3 style fenders and then this like big vent in the middle, the car actually looks pretty tracky. I don't know, looks like a race car. I love it. We got these clear Revo 2s done by Castillo. I was talking about, I'm probably gonna have him switch out these lenses because as you can see, there's like this black paint on the inside, which was really cool when the car was black. I think it complemented it a lot, but now that the car is, you know, this dark kind of blue, I really want the full clear in the rear so that way you can actually see the chrome from the side, because if I walked around to the other side, that paint's blocking it off. Just a little thing, but it makes a big difference. I have 326 roof spoiler I need to put on, but interior wise, car's still pretty much the same. I mean, I installed a sub in the back. It's kind of just loose there, but still got the pole positions, the Takatas. I need to install the 326 steering wheel because now that I have the angle kit, I really want to drive with like a quick release, not this bulky stock steering wheel. I did 2 track days with it and it's honestly not that bad, but it would be nice to have a tighter feeling wheel because, you know, the smaller the diameter of the wheel, the more force you actually feel, like more feedback from the car. So that should feel nice, especially with all the caster that I'm going to be able to add with the FDF kit, because I do like a good amount of self-steer. So yeah, I sold the TEs as well because those would not fit this kit, which sucks a lot. Like, I really love those wheels. But yeah, long story short, I miss my TEs, and we have Koenigs now, which is sick because I always wanted these wheels. They got the center cap that goes over, hides the lugs. I just need to figure out some clearance with the lugs. I think I need to buy smaller ones. But as you can see, we got these caps and they kind of go on like that. Obviously they won't go on right now because there's lugs. The lugs are protruding past that point. But yeah, they look pretty sick. I'm excited to have those on the drift car. It should look pretty nuts. Yeah, this car is gonna look sick. I'm really stoked for it, which is crazy because I absolutely hated this car like a year and a half ago. I really wanted to sell it, and there's all that stuff going on, just, you know, whatever. Not gonna get into it now, but yeah, E46. So next car to go over. So I picked up this thing because I wanted a seat time car, and I also really missed my E46. My old one, and this was the perfect excuse. It's another black on black 325 Ci, but this car actually has an M54 in it. So right now I'm replacing the coolant lines down there. I don't know how well you can see. You can see a lot better now. So I'm replacing these coolant lines. Intake manifold is off. It's like under that towel over there. Gonna be doing all the CCV along with the coolant lines. Got some gaskets gonna replace. Just make sure that this car is kind of bulletproof. I know these motors are insanely strong. The transmissions, like these engines and transmission, everything will outlive the chassis almost. Like, the only real issue with these E46s is that you end up getting a lot of like vacuum leaks or, you know, coolant leaks as well. Being able to address that right now before I really start driving the car is going to be ideal, so I can get as much seat time as I want in this car and not have to drive it to the track and then figure out, oh, there's a coolant leak or whatever. The one thing I would really like to do is get rid of these weird over fenders. I mean, I want to do big duck club. I can see the car had a kit on it previously that was not this little just eBay over fender. So I'd love to do, like I said, big duck club rears, get that full kind of same quarter panel replacement style that I have over there, which means I could also save a lot of weight cutting this off. The interior is stripped. There's basically only the dash. We have these 2 NRG carbon back buckets, got that self-centering shifter, I think it is, an RD steering wheel. There's no infotainment, but there's everything for the AC, so I actually can get AC in this car, which would be, I'm definitely going to do that. Kind of missile looking, and then got, let's see, modulas. What else? Yeah, this car is like PBM, coilovers, SPL arms, welded diff. These Conzays, which I really want to sell and get M-Pars because I just love the stock wheels that came with the Beamers in this year. Really want M-Pars. Hopefully some nice chrome Johns. get this thing looking proper, get this car looking proper, get both of them driving proper. That's the main thing right now. The FRS runs and starts fine. This car runs and starts fine, but it was just leaking coolant and would overheat after like 30 minutes. So once we replace those coolant lines, that won't be an issue. We're gonna replace all the vacuum stuff. Won't have any leaks, hopefully. And then, yeah, get this car all in color, get the FDF arms on. We're gonna adjust the fitment. The rear's pretty good right now, as you can see. I like that. But the front was heinous without the kit. I was just running those PVM knuckles, and I had the car raised, so when I went off track at Grange, I wouldn't blow up the bumper. But now after my second event, I feel a lot more comfortable driving. So I want to lower it, get it looking all nice, one color, get the FDF angle kit set up how I want it, so this car drives exactly the way I want to. Because the last two events I did were just kind of on like a baseline alignment, hadn't done too much adjusting to the car, just made sure it wasn't gonna explode when I get there or that something would snap. So now I'm gonna be able to set the car up and actually be able to just drive it with full confidence. I did that last event. I ended up hitting the entry at Grange, like top of third at my second ever event, which was a crazy feeling, just going straight from the sim to this car. And granted, I have like 700-800 hours in Assetto, but it was still a really rewarding feeling to just be able to go do it in real life and not had to have spent tens of thousands of dollars trying to get to the point skill-wise that I am now. I definitely think if you want to drift, get a sim. That's kind of a rant, but I'll save that for another day. Yeah, I think that kind of sums it up. I'm definitely just going to be driving a lot. It's not really parking the car and looking at it anymore, which should be a lot more fun for you guys. It's going to be a lot more expensive for me, but it's been a lot of fun so far, and I'm really enjoying this journey, just getting to drive and the people I've been able to meet through drifting, the friends that I have who have pushed me to get this car to track days. I mean, my first event, I had 4 of my friends in my garage just like working on the car with me, and that was so sick. You know, just being able to be like, oh, I'm gonna get out there, like we're making sure this car gets to this event tomorrow. And I got my alignment, I think at like 9 in the morning, maybe earlier. Literally got my car aligned, drove to the shop, picked my car up from alignment, drove it back here, picked up all my stuff for the track, threw my spares in the trunk, threw my toolbox in the trunk, and just drove straight to Grange. And I ended up being able to pretty much link the whole track the first time. I didn't try to hit the entry because it was basically my first time drifting in real life. Like, I'm not joking. So I was able to pretty much link the whole track, which was crazy. Went back the second time and I was just focused on hitting the entry. But I ended up tandeming both times. I was driving, I think I drove like 20 miles on track the first day, first event. The second one, I didn't keep track. I was just hitting the entry over and over and over, trying to get it right. I got it pretty clean. I think when I go back next time with the angle kit, it's going to be a completely different story. So yeah, I just love drifting. That's definitely what I want to do with this car, and I want to share that with you guys because I think I enjoy cars way too much now, which is awesome to finally feel like I don't dread this car anymore. I mean, yeah, it makes me really happy to be able to do this with this car and get to this point, being able to push myself, doing all the research on the parts, you know, learning to buy, like what to buy, why I would buy it, you know, understanding exactly everything about the car, why it's doing what it's doing, just to be able to drive. There you have it. There's pretty much most of what I think you guys need to understand or would want to hear from me about these cars, where I'm going. And I say this every time I post a video, but I definitely really am looking forward to sharing this experience and sharing my progression in drifting, my experience building this car with all y'all. I am just tired of doing it by myself. This car was like the vein of my existence, and I wanted nothing more than to literally burn it. I didn't even want to sell it. I wanted to put it in a trash compactor. which is crazy because it's just a car, right? But I had so much other stuff going on, and this car was just adding fuel to the fire with all the stuff that was breaking. So the fact that I finally like really just love this car again, I genuinely mean I love this car, is a crazy feeling because I never thought I would get that back. And I know it looks like shit to most people and it looks clapped, but this is the most I've ever enjoyed this car by far. I don't know where it cut off. It was probably enough rambling. I think this video is long enough as it is. Maybe a little too long, but I'm just stoked to be back.